Welcome to US Market Brief, your fast track to today's biggest stock market stories. Like and subscribe to support us and stay ahead on Wall Street. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert says, calling Trump an autocrat. FedEx stock rises on better than expected earnings. Comcast spinoff Versant reports declining annual profit as it prepares to go public. Nvidia just spent over $900 million to hire Enfabrica CEO, license AI startup's technology. iPhone 17 goes on sale globally as Apple faces China rivals and AI doubts. BOJ holds rates as Japan core inflation dips to lowest since November 2024. How much homeowners pay in property taxes in every U.S. state, in one map. Netskope soars 18% on first day of trading, reaches $8.60 billion market cap. Notion rides AI boom to $500 million in annual revenue, but Microsoft competition looms. Hyundai outlines ambitious U.S. growth plans weeks after ICE immigration raid at battery plant. CrowdStrike pops nearly 13% on upbeat long-term guidance at Investor Day. COVID shot access, coverage at stake as RFK Jr.'s hand-picked vaccine panel convenes. What Kevin Durant would tell an NBA rookie who wants to follow in his footsteps. Here's a rapid-fire update on all 31 portfolio stocks including our newest name. Nvidia CEO Huang says $5 billion stake in rival Intel will be an incredible investment. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. Stephen Colbert defended fellow late-night host Jimmy Kimmel and called President Donald Trump an autocrat.
Colbert opened his show by saying he stands with Kimmel.
The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live by ABC followed pressure from the Federal Communications Commission chairman.
Kimmel made comments connecting the alleged killer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk to the MAGA movement.
Colbert called the suspension blatant censorship.
He dedicated his show to free speech and Kimmel's staff.
President Trump praised Kimmel's suspension and suggested the Federal Communications Commission might revoke licenses of networks against him.
Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr hinted that ABC's license was at risk.
FedEx exceeded earnings expectations in its first fiscal quarter report.
The company's stock rose over 5% in after-hours trading following the announcement.
FedEx reported earnings per share of $3.83, surpassing the expected $3.59.
Revenue also beat predictions, reaching $22.24 billion compared to the anticipated $21.66 billion.
CEO Raj Subramaniam attributed the positive results to the company's resilient network and adaptable team.
Average daily volumes in the United States increased by 6% overall.
Improved domestic package volumes boosted segment operating results.
However, the FedEx freight segment saw a decline due to lower revenue and increased wages.
Comcast is spinning off most of its NBC Universal Cable Network portfolio into a new company called Versant.
Versant will trade on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol VSNT, according to a recent filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission.
The filing reveals declining revenue for Versant in recent years.
Last year, Versant generated $7 billion in revenue, down from $7.4 billion in 2023 and $7.8 billion in 2022.
Net income also decreased to $1.4 billion last year, compared to $1.5 billion in 2023 and $1.8 billion in 2022.
This decline reflects the broader trend of viewers moving from traditional cable to streaming platforms.
Comcast aims to separate its declining cable business from its more profitable internet and streaming services.
Versant will focus on adapting its brands, including USA, CNBC, MSNBC, and others, to the changing media landscape.
Nvidia recently invested over $900 million in artificial intelligence startup Enfabrica.
This includes hiring Enfabrica Chief Executive Officer Rachan Sankar and other employees, and licensing the company's technology.
The deal, involving cash and stock, closed last week, according to sources familiar with the arrangement.
NVIDIA graphics processing units are central to the current artificial intelligence boom, powering large language model training.
Enfabrica's technology can connect over 100,000 graphics processing units, potentially boosting NVIDIA's integrated systems.
This allows clusters of graphics processing units to function as a single computer.
NVIDIA and Enfabrica declined to comment on the deal.
NVIDIA's latest products already feature integrated systems with multiple graphics processing units working together.
The iPhone 17 launched globally on Friday, with lines of eager customers from Beijing to London.
Apple faces pressure to prove itself amidst questions about its artificial intelligence plans and rising competition.
New products include the iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro Max, iPhone Air, and updated Apple Watch and AirPods models.
The global launch is crucial as Apple addresses increasing competition in overseas markets, especially China.
Chinese customers waited for hours, even overnight, to buy the new iPhone.
Some customers switched from Huawei and Xiaomi, drawn to the iPhone's features and operating system.
Increased internal storage is expected to attract new Chinese customers to the iPhone.
This would be positive for Apple, which has lost market share in China to Huawei, Xiaomi, and others.
The Bank of Japan maintained its policy rate at 0.5% on Friday.
This matched predictions from a Reuters poll of economists.
Japan's core inflation rate, excluding fresh food, dropped to 2.7% in August.
This marks the lowest level since November 2024 and a third consecutive monthly decrease.
The 2.7% core inflation figure aligned with economists' expectations in a Reuters poll.
Overall inflation also fell to 2.7% in August, down from 3.1% in July.
This also represents the lowest level since November 2024.
The core inflation rate, excluding fresh food and energy, dipped to 3.3% from July's 3.4%.
Property taxes are becoming a larger burden on household budgets.
Homeowners are paying significantly more in property taxes compared to just a few years ago.
Data reveals a substantial increase of 27.4% since 2019.
Many homeowners are finding their tax bills higher than anticipated.
A majority of homeowners who budgeted for taxes were surprised by higher bills this year.
Property taxes were the most underestimated cost for Gen Z homeowners.
These rising costs make financial planning difficult for homeowners.
The amount homeowners pay in property taxes varies greatly from state to state.
New Jersey has the highest median annual property tax bill in the nation.
Alabama has the lowest median annual property tax bill.
The difference between the highest and lowest state is substantial.
Homeowners should research their state's property tax rates to avoid surprises.
Netskope soared over 18% on its first day of trading on the Nasdaq on Thursday.
This pushed the cybersecurity firm to an $8.6 billion market capitalization.
The stock debuted at $23 under the ticker symbol NTSK.
This came after Netskope sold shares at $19 on Wednesday, at the top end of its recently increased pricing range.
The sale raised over $908 million.
CEO and co-founder Sanjay Berry told CNBC the offering was oversubscribed more than 20 times.
Netskope helps companies protect their data while using artificial intelligence tools.
Mr.
Berry stated that the world is moving to artificial intelligence and cloud, requiring a redefinition of data network security, which is Netskope's focus. Notion has surpassed $500 million in annualized revenue, thanks to the artificial intelligence boom.
The productivity software startup capitalized on the generative artificial intelligence trend early.
2 weeks before ChatGPT launched, Notion announced its own artificial intelligence feature, Notion AI.
Notion AI acts as a writing assistant, aiding users with brainstorming, editing, and summarizing.
This artificial intelligence wave propelled Notion to the 34th spot on CNBC's 2025 Disruptor 50 list.
Notion recently launched a customizable agent that creates documents and pulls data from various sources.
The company uses models from companies like OpenAI and Anthropic.
Notion is striving to meet the rising enterprise demand for artificial intelligence tools.
Hyundai reinforced aggressive growth plans despite lowering its profit outlook for the year.
The South Korean automaker revised its financial targets ahead of a chief executive officer investor day in New York City.
This marks the first time the company has hosted the event outside of South Korea.
It is also the first time Chief Executive Officer Jose Munoz led the meeting.
Hyundai reconfirmed ambitious growth plans, including increasing annual sales to 5.55 million by 2030.
This represents a roughly 34% increase from its global sales last year.
Munoz discussed expansion plans fueled by the United States, which he called the engine of growth.
Hyundai is investing $26 billion from 2025 to 2028 to expand its operations in America.
CrowdStrike shares rose significantly after the cybersecurity company released positive long-term guidance.
At its investor day, CrowdStrike projected better than expected growth, causing a 13% surge in share price.
The company anticipates net new annual recurring revenues to grow at least 20% by 2027.
This projection exceeds analysts' expectations, boosting investor confidence.
CrowdStrike aims to reach $10 billion in annual recurring revenue by 2031.
Furthermore, they plan to double that figure to $20 billion by 2036.
The company also recently acquired the AI security platform Pangea and partnered with Salesforce.
Analysts like Andrew Nowinski of Wells Fargo praise CrowdStrike as the industry leader in advanced security platforms.
The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, will vote on recommendations for COVID and childhood vaccines this week.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. handpicked the committee, raising concerns about potential changes to vaccine recommendations.
The panel will vote on hepatitis B and MMRV vaccines on Thursday, and COVID vaccines on Friday.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention typically adopts the panel's recommendations.
Public health experts warn that weakening recommendations could hinder vaccine access and insurance coverage.
One major health insurance group confirmed its members will cover vaccines already recommended by ACIP.
Restricting vaccine access could further lower immunization rates and increase outbreak risks.
These votes are especially critical as we head into the fall and winter respiratory virus season.
Kevin Durant, now 36 and entering his 18th season, recently joined the Houston Rockets.
He has built a diverse investment portfolio spanning sports leagues, media, and even cryptocurrency.
Durant shared advice for young players hoping to emulate his success.
He emphasized focusing on developing their skills to reach the highest levels of competition.
Once on that platform, with millions watching, Durant advises players to be themselves.
He encourages authenticity over trying to change one's personality.
Durant believes showcasing your game naturally attracts people.
This approach has certainly worked for the two-time NBA champion and four-time Olympic gold medalist.
Jim Cramer and Jeff Marks discussed the 31 stocks in their portfolio.
They considered factors like Federal Reserve policy, trade, and China.
Jim Cramer believes the new iPhone models are a good value.
Amazon needs continued margin expansion and cloud growth.
Abbott Laboratories is a high-quality stock to hold long-term.
The portfolio managers took profits in Broadcom.
Boeing is the newest addition to the portfolio.
BlackRock benefits from rising asset prices.
NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang believes a $5 billion investment in Intel will be an incredible investment.
The two companies have been in discussions for almost a year.
Huang spoke directly with Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan about the partnership.
Huang and Tan have known each other for 30 years.
NVIDIA will help Intel develop data center and personal computer chips.
These data centers will combine Intel central processors with NVIDIA graphics processors and networking.
Intel will also sell central processors for personal computers and notebooks with integrated NVIDIA graphics processors.
The deal took several months to finalize.
That's a wrap on this episode of US Market Brief.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time with more stock market updates, earnings highlights, and insights from Wall Street.